very interesting article about college football that came out recently, Rob. And they talked to athletic directors and head coaches and the like. And all of these guys, most of them, they say 88% of college athletic directors in Division I football want an expansion of the current playoff format. That's according to Stadium's Brett McMurphy. And 88% right now, of course, is just 4 teams. And a lot of them want 8 teams. Some of them even want 16. One anonymous GM from a Power 5 conference school, he said this, to paraphrase the old TV show, I know you'll like this, Rob, 8 isn't enough. There needs to be more meaningful postseason opportunities, meaningful to the players and meaningful to the fans. Bowl games no longer fit that consistently. A 16-team playoff would allow for greater television exposure, greater revenue, and more access. Rob, I have said for years I think they should go to 8. But I got to be honest, a 16-team playoff, I like it. Sign me up. We love playoffs, Rob. The expansion of baseball playoffs, great. The NBA playoffs, great. NFL's now already was great. Now they're adding another team because it's great. We love playoffs. It's meaningful. Yeah, we like the regular season, but the playoffs is best in everything. March Madness, why is it so popular? Because it's a playoff. And if you got 16 teams in the playoffs, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be fantastic. Sign me up.
No way, no how am I interested in this. This ain't about no fun and how happy people would be for more playoffs. It's a money grab. You fall for it all the time. How many times have we watched the first round of the NBA playoffs be a 4-game sweep because the team that they're playing doesn't even belong in the playoffs? It's not even competitive. And you know what, Chris? One of the most unbelievable groups and iconic musical groups in the history of our country and our world, I should say, was called the Fab Four. The Beatles. They didn't need 8 people to make beautiful music together.
Stop. That's
it was
terrible.
just 4 of them.
Act like that didn't. We're on the delay. Erase that part. That made no sense.
It did make sense. It's fine the way it is.
You stayed up all night thinking of that joke.
Especially for a sport that used to pick their champion by vote. They didn't even play for it.
Did you like that?
No, but I'm saying this is fine. There aren't more than 4 teams that are good enough to win the national championship every year. If they expand to 16, that means Jim Harbaugh and Michigan will get in, and they don't deserve it. You just want to see your daughter's school have a chance at a national championship since they only have had one in the history of the school, and that was a shared one back in 97. So all I'm saying is there aren't enough schools to fill 16 slots who are honestly viable to be champions. This is nothing more than
a first round.
Than a money grab. It's a money grab.
Because
they don't deserve it.
The AD made a great point. The AD made a great point that the bowl games, who cares? Honestly, Rob, how many bowl games are you watching? We watch the big ones. And to be honest, even it used to be when you and I were coming up, New Year's Day, what they have about 6 bowl games on New Year's Day, 6 or 7. And those were all big time, right? And we watch all of them. And a lot of times, like if a team blew out its opponent and another team that was ranked ahead of it struggled, you could see a team jump over a team ahead of it. But those days are over. Really, it's really boiled down to the playoff games that really matter now. Nobody really cares about, even if it's a big bowl game, if it's not a part of the playoff, it's not a big deal. So what I'm saying is make the bowl games playoff games. So now you got 16 teams. They all play in bowl games, but the bowl games are essentially playoff teams. You advance, and it would be exciting. And if you think of Wisconsin that might be ranked 12th, doesn't have a shot at winning the national championship, then fine. They should get beat in the first round. But maybe they'll pull an upset. That happens in the NFL. There's a 9-7 team or a 10-6 team that squeaks in. Do we really think they have a shot at winning it? Usually no, but it happens sometimes. It happened with the Giants. It happened with the Packers. It can happen. And here's the other thing, Rob, the parity nowadays. Now, I know you're right. You got LSU, Clemson, Alabama, maybe Ohio State. Those four do seem programs a notch above the rest. But the parity after that is incredible. Last year, you had one undefeated team. You had three, or really two, one-loss teams among the major powers. And then you had a ton of teams that lost at least 2 games. You had teams in the top 10, top 11 with 3 and 4 losses. And my point is that that's the parity. How often over the last several years in college football have we seen a number 2, a number 3, a number 4, heck, even a number 1 team lose in the 7th week of the season, the 5th week of the season, because there's parity. There's too much parity to just pick it 4 teams and let them decide. It's similar to what they used to do when they picked the champion. Pick 16, let them go at it, and may the best team win. Every other single sport, Rob, pro football, college football at every other level, including Division I AA, hockey, basketball, baseball, there's playoffs. What in the world makes the FBS so different that they can't have a playoff?
They have a
real
playoff. 4 teams is good. That's all
They're
you
the
need.
Only, even
it's
that's
all
the
about
lowest
Chris.
number.
Stop
That's
it.
I don't care if it's about money. Fine.
It's just money. That's all it is.
Would be better.
No,
fine.
it wouldn't be better. It's fine the way it is. I like it.
With money.
There's nothing
you
wrong
want
with
money,
it.
I want money.
It's fine the way it is. You just change it.
It's not fine.
Just make everything the playoffs. All the teams are eligible. How about that? Make the regular season the playoffs.
See, you can't have a nuanced
That's
discussion.
just ridiculous.
You got to be ridiculous and
No.
say something like that.
16
Why not
teams.
16?
Because it's
There's
not
300
16 good
football
college
teams
teams.
in
That's
the country.
why. Yeah, but
can't
most of them are
16 of them be in
garbage.
No, well, not. There's more than 16 that aren't garbage.
Most are garbage,
The
and
top
they're not
20
good
are
enough.
usually good football teams.
You'll just
You
be
act like
letting
you never
also
seen
rans
enough.
in.
What's one of the best things in sports, Rob? The upset. The upset. Don't you want to see an upset?
I don't
What's
want to
wrong with
see
that?
teams that you're going to make the regular season irrelevant, and you don't
No.
want that. You'll have teams that lose 4 games in a playoff. It's not fair. Make them have to earn their way in. And the other thing is, it's just like I told you, the thing that drives me crazy with some of these is, in the NBA, we've seen it, teams with losing records make the playoffs.
Well, that ain't
they
gonna
lose
happen
in the
in
first
college
round.
football.
But I'm just saying,
With 16
you think
teams?
that's good with 16 teams? And a team with a losing record should
No,
make the
they
playoffs?
won't. What,
No, I'm
they won't
asking
have-
you.
In basketball?
Yeah, I'm asking you. You think that's
I think basketball is fine the way it is. 8 teams. I mean, look,
that's not what
if
I asked you.
If
That's
they,
not,
yeah,
I'm
I
asking
think it's
you.
fine. I think
so
it's
a team
fine.
with a losing record should make the
Yep.
playoffs. Okay,
That's fine. If they're in the top 8 in their conference, yes.
terrible.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you're not that good, you get beat. So what?
Who wants to see a 4-game sweep?
You act
Nobody.
like every year it's a 4-game sweep.
Most of
when
them are.
Boston,
Most
when
of them
Boston
are.
won the championship in 08 with the Big 3, they went 7 games in the first 2 rounds.
Most of them are. I'm just telling you, there aren't
most of
16
them
good
aren't.
teams.
Most of them might not be 7 games
There are
or
about 3 or
competitive 6
4
games,
There are about
but there's
3 or
nothing
4
wrong
really
with that.
good college football teams. And
3
unfortunately,
really
that's
good
the way
college
it is.
football
I
teams.
said
Stop
3 or
it.
4. That's it.
That's BS. Oklahoma's good. They were number 6.
According-
Oregon's good.
according
Number
to-
5. Penn State was good. They were number 9.
According
Alabama
to your
was number
plans,
8. Alabama
according
was
to
number
your
8.
plan, Jim Harbaugh would be in the playoff every year just
First
because
of all,
it's Michigan.
I'm not even thinking about Jim Harbaugh. I don't know
but
what
this
your
is-
obsession with Jim Harbaugh
because
is.
this is the Jim
They were
Harbaugh.
actually number 18 last year, so
This
they
is-
wouldn't have been in.
This is to cut Jim Harbaugh some slack. They wanted to be 16 to give him a chance since he's one of the highest paid coaches in the country. Give him a chance to make the playoffs. The only way he'll make it is if there's 16 or 20 teams in the playoffs. That's
Here's
what you do. You
what I
allow
want.
guys like that to make the playoffs when they don't deserve it.
I want the games being settled on the field. I want the game settled on the field, and I want excitement. And a 16-game playoff would be exciting. You're the only one that doesn't think that would be exciting. And look, I wasn't hung up. I would have liked 8 because I definitely thought 8 was legit. If they went to 12, fine. I just think a playoff is good. I don't really want more than 16. I think that's plenty. And you're right. A few teams that you would think don't have a shot at winning it would be in there. But hey, it's a playoff game. Maybe they pull off an upset. We've seen plenty of that. And if they don't, they get beat, then they deserve to get beat. But a playoff, man, would be great. We got like 50 days in between the end of the regular season and the championship. Let's fill those 50 days with some meaningful games. Let's not fill them with some ill-named bowl game that nobody cares about. I just think it would make sports that much more, college football, which is already great, it would make it that much more exciting.
All right, we got a ton of people trying to get in on this college football. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Clyde in Maryland. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Clyde?
Mr. Whipple, you must be down to the roll of cardboard because Rob is dominating you on this. The Poo Poo King's winning.
Really?
I mean,
Tell
Go
him,
ahead.
Clyde.
Explain.
Tell him.
16 teams? What do you want, like 5 teams from a conference?
Look,
how you going to
that's
get
what
16
you would have.
teams?
First
You
of
got
all,
at
you
least
got the
eight,
Power
maybe.
5
4
teams.
or 8.
You got 4 is too little. I've always been fine with 8, but I don't mind 16, man. What's wrong with that? If a team gets smashed in the first round, so be it.
Just too many. When you want the season end in March?
Well, no, you cut out some of these regular season games. That's what you do. You can cut out the 3 games they start the season with against Division
Those are
II
money
and
makers,
one
Chris.
AA
Those are
team
money
team.
makers for them.
For the big
That's all it is,
schools, for the
a money
little
grab.
schools.
I hear you, Poo Poo King. Listen,
you.
I got one question for either one of you, and if either one of you can answer it, I'm going to send you some wings.
All right, let's hear it.
All right,
on.
here's your question. When Cleveland came back and beat Golden State, who was the best player for Cleveland?
LeBron James.
You got to send me some wings. It was Harrison Barnes.
Oh, wow. There we go. Thanks, Clyde.
All right.
Steve in Omaha. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, I want 16 teams. I love that.
My man.
Let's give
It's
these
a
kids a
playoff,
chance.
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
you were just talking about Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson.
Good point.
I mean, the point of sports is to get, to compete, and they're
So, Steve, let everybody in the playoffs, right?
No,
the regular.
no,
let everybody.
zero.
Why?
Not at all,
Let
but
everybody
16
in.
Teams, 8 teams. I'm down for that.
All right.
I
quite
think every
great.
conference champion, every major conference champion should get in.
Yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
Right.
You know?
I'm with it. And look, Rob, one of the best things about March Madness are the upsets. Why not have a few in football?
We're still waiting for a mid-major to win, Chris. They don't win.
But they
I don't
get
care how
there,
many
even
updates.
if they get
I
there.
don't care how many ups. They haven't won.
Just getting to the championship
No, that's not.
is
After
an
a while,
accomplishment.
well, they haven't even won. If you would have
But
told me,
getting there.
no, they haven't won.
When Butler got there, that wasn't an accomplishment?
No, it's about winning.
No, that was an accomplishment. Stop it. You know that.
Javier in Milwaukee. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, I was going to say, what's wrong with more games? Or you guys got some soap operas to watch or something?
Hey, I'm with you, man. You like it, right? You like the 16 teams.
Yeah, but I was going to say, while not everybody wants to maybe watch Wisconsin play, if they're out of the top 4, I bet all of Wisconsin wants to watch them play. So
Right.
you're going to have viewers.
The bottom
right.
line is from the end of the regular season to the Final Four, nobody cares anymore. And you got all these little random college bowl games that nobody watches except the people from the school, and that's it. This is a way to make some meaningful games in December for college football. It's great.
Paul in D.C., you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Guys, staying safe. Chris, you're wet behind the ears on this one, guys. 16 teams diminishes the quality that you're putting on the field. 4 is good. If you expand it from 4 to 8, that would be the most, but I'd say stick to what you got. It's working, okay?
Right, Paul. It works.
No.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the format. I love it.
How many years has it been like the fifth team should have been in it? Look, again, Paul, I've always been fine with 8. I'm just saying, you know what? This is the first time I thought about 16 when I read that story, and I kind of like it. Who doesn't want more playoff games?
It's a dream, though, man. I mean, 16, the 15, 16, those teams they're going to be like those bowl games that you don't watch.
Yes, those are the teams that'll be in there. 16, absolutely, it'll be 16, Michigan.
Okay, let's use that. If Michigan number 16 meets Alabama number 1, don't tell me people aren't going to watch that. Clemson and Penn State in the first round, people will watch that.
People love train wrecks. They'll watch that as well, and that's what this will be if they adopt a Chris Broussard college football format.
Stop having your relatives call up, Rob.
No, I ain't got no relatives. You can't accept when people agree with me because I'm the most logical guy on the show. Yeah. Joe in New Orleans, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Joe?
Chris, I'm sitting here quarantined inside my house, and I'm cleaning out my cat litter box, and your argument reminds me of that cat litter box.
Oh, my God.
Rob does not even have to speak on that last segment because you kept giving every reason why you don't go for it. When you go, 16 teams are great. Oh, yeah, 4 teams is usually all you really need. But this, but that. No, 88% of the athletic directors want it because 99% of the athletic directors care about money. They don't care about the student athlete. So, of course, they're going to want more money. You want to know who does care about those bowl games? Those players who get to go. Because you have right now
they care more about a playoff. You don't think they care more about a playoff game?
Now we only have 32 teams that go. No, because when you have 40-some-odd teams who go to bowl games, that's 80-some-odd teams that go to a postseason activity. Teams that would never, on God's green earth, ever have a chance to have a sniff at a title. They get to go to a city. They get to have the experience.
But I'm fine with that. I'm not saying you have to get rid of all those minor bowl games. Keep them. Let those teams go to that. But then you also have
there aren't enough teams to fill all that. Come on, man. That would nobody's going to those now.
He said 80 teams get to enjoy the postseason rather than 16. So let the other 60 or whatever play in their meaningless bowl games. But for the real squads, we're going to continue we're going to make a playoff. It would be great. I see no downside to this. None.
I just got a text from my buddy. I want to just Devontae. He said, I'm listening now, shaking my head. A 16-team playoff is going to allow a team like Clemson, who doesn't play anybody, to lose and still be able to make the playoffs while the SEC teams are knocking each other off. That's why he's against it. He's a college football fan. So here's one. I just want to let you know.
Clemson's going to make the play. If they're not that good, then they'll get beat.
With 16 teams. They'll make it. They don't play anybody. They'll make it.
They don't play. They keep winning the national championship. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but who are they playing?
Has Devontae, did he stop watching 7 years ago or what?